Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again. And on this episode of Voices Big and Small, we're going to be talking about Kelly Sheridan. Many of you know her, of course, from her work on My Little Pony, as well as the Barbie series, being the title character of the Barbie series, as well as Scarlet, I'm sorry, as well as Shango from the Inuyasha series, and Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff in X-Men Evolution, and Mammoth Mutt from Crypto the Superdog. So we're gonna take a look at her career, look at all her roles, see what she's been in, what she's been involved with, and also get a little bit of background on her. So without no further ado, here we go. So she's an alma mater of Simon Fraser University. She's a voice actress. Kelly Sheridan is a voice actress, singer, songwriter, and musician from Vancouver, British Columbia. She's been, basically, according to this, she's been active since 1979, even though most of the credits we know of are just from the 90s. So here's a bit of a synopsis on Kelly Sheridan. Kelly Sheridan is a Canadian voice actress best known for being the voice of Barbie in the Barbie film series from 2001 to 2010 and from 2012 to 2015. She had also voiced in numerous cartoons and English language dubs of Japanese anime, including, as I mentioned, as Sango in the English dub of Inuyasha, Diana Lombard in Martin Mystery, Teresa in Clash of the Titans, and Starlight Glimmer in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. She has been in a number of Genius Theater Company, or no, I'm sorry. She has been a member of Genius Theater Company since 2005. And here is a little bit more on her biography. Sheridan grew up in Vancouver and studied at the Vancouver Youth Theater. She attended Simon Fraser University and received a degree in theater in 2001. Before Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny came out in English on many of the anime websites, Sheridan had mistakenly received credit for Stella Lossier's voice. Um, she was initially succeeded as the voice of Barbie by Diana Karina in 2010, beginning with Barbie, a fashion fairy tale, but later returned to the role in 2012 in Barbie and a Mermaid Tale 2. She continued to voice Barbie through 2015, when it was announced that Erica Linebeck would be taking over in 2016. So that's a bit of a biography. So now let's take a look at the roles she's done over the years. According to my source here, there's no year on this, but she was cast in as Willow the fairy and Cindy in A Kind of Magic. I don't know from what year that is. So this doesn't tell me the year. Um, then in 1992, she was cast as Melody in My Little Pony Tales. So she's been in quite a number involved in the My Little Pony number of My Little Pony franchises. Um, then in 1993, she would be cast as Akane Kobayashi in Mega Man Upon a Star, and as Hinako Shiratori in Ultimate Teacher. Let's see. She was also cast as Danielle in Madeline in 1993. And when they did the dub of Rama 1 Half in 1993, she was cast as Yukio Kunoji and Karumi. Let's see, what else? Then we move ahead to 1995, where in Little Orphan Annie's Very Anime Christmas, she was cast as the teen version. She was cast as the voice of the teen version of Annie. Um, then in 1996, she was cast as Queenie in Billy the Cat. Then we move ahead to 1999, in which she was cast in Dragon Tales as Miss Tips and the Sycamore Tree. Then in 2000, she was part of the Cardcaptor Sakura dub of Nirvana, I believe. In the English dub, her character was named Nikki. In the original Japanese dub, she was known as Naoko um, Yanigasawa. So, yeah, she was involved in Cardcaptor Sakura. So, I'm sure many of you remember that one from back when it was on, I think it was Kids WB back in the early 2000s. Right up there with Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff like that. Also in 2000, she was cast as Hitomi Kanzaki in The Vision of Escaflowne, which I believe as Hitomi, she was the female lead in that role. And also, of course, in 2000, one of the other roles I alluded to earlier was she was cast as the voice of the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff in X-Men Evolution. Um, with, of course, Richard Ian Cox playing her brother, Pietro Maximoff, Quicksilver in the series, voicing the series. Then in 2001, she became part of the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise when she was cast as Miharu Ratoko in Mobile Suit Gundam. And then also in 2001, she was cast as Princess Hamaji Satomi in Hakuden Legend of the Dog Warriors. I've seen this. It's very interesting. I know there's been a couple. And then they did a reboot a few years later. Very interesting anime. Very interesting. Fantasy adventure type of anime. You guys should check it out. Um, Also in 2001, of course, she was cast as Lena Rena Toros and Chris Trasker in Zoid's New Century Zero. And then as one of her first roles in the Barbie film franchise, she was of course cast in the lead role of Barbie in the Barbie film Kelly Dream Club. Then actually that was in 2002, by the way. Then as we move forward in 2002, she was also cast as Maya Miyazaki in Soul Taker. She was Hillary in Hamtaro. Also in 2002, she was cast as Yuki Saiko in Mobius. Kind of a cute character who loved tea. She was a tea connoisseur. Silent Mobius, of course, is about a group of women, group of mecha pilot women who would go out and save the day. So um, that was from Silent Mobius 2000. And then also in 2002, that's when she first received the role. She first earned the role of Sango in the Inuyasha anime. She would, of course, later reprise her role in Inuyasha Final Act. Then also in 2002, she was cast as Maya Tomoe in Project Arms. Somewhat of a dark anime, if you guys are into that. But it's a very interesting one, very interesting mecha. Got mecha elements in it. It's got secret society elements of it. She is, Maya Tomoe in it. Also in 2002, she was cast as Red Bean in Troubled Chocolate. A very cute anime, another cute slice of life anime. If you guys want to check it out. Um, she, another one of those kind of comedic harem type animes where the main male protagonist ends up having all these different women living with him, and all basically all craziness abounds. Um, then, of course, in 2003, she had gained the role of Sai in Mega Man NT Warrior, in which she was, her net navi, of course, was Woodman. She was, basically a gardening expert, nature expert. And then also in 2003, when they dubbed Master Keaton, she earned the role of Yuriko Hiraga, the daughter of the main character. Master Keaton is probably one of the more unique animes out there because it's slice of life, but it's not the slice of life you're used to. You know, the story follows um, a guy by the name of Taiichi Hiraga Keaton, who is basically an archaeologist. He's also um, I believe he's like an appraiser for Lloyd's of London, an insurance investigator. It's of course got elements of detective stories, um, survivalist. It's a very if you've never seen Master Keaton, I highly recommend it. It's a very interesting anime. It's very interesting because it touches a lot of bases, and it's probably one of the more episodic animes as opposed to Sierra. In other words, it doesn't necessarily follow one specific storyline, but it's kind of a little more episodic. Okay, so anyways, back to it then. Let's see what else. Also in 2003, she was cast as Sakushi Makino in Boys Over Flowers. Here's another interesting slice. This one is more of a typical slice of life. It's romantic one, kind of a love story. You know, I think there are some elements of like the main girl in it. You know, it's kind of like on the lower end of the socioeconomic scale, and she basically becomes love interest of like the most popular guy in school. So, um, also in 2003, this is where she had gained the role of Diana Lombard in Martin Mystery. Also in 2003, she was cast as Julie Bahana in Infinite Revias, who was one of the leaders of the group. And the Infinite Revias is about basically, in essence, it was a situation where kids were being trained to man a spaceship with, and eventually what ends up happening is all the all the adults get killed off and they're left to fend for themselves. Until it's of course revealed that it was intended for them to be left to fend for themselves. So then in 2004, she is cast again as she reprises her role as Yoriko Hiraga in the Master Keaton OVA. The whole series is pretty good. It's kind of funny. It's one of those rare occasions where the OVA and the anime actually link up very well together. Also in 2004, she was cast in the role of Kiraho Hana Clicker in Dakoida. Um, haven't seen that one, but that one interesting. And then she reprises her role as Sao in also in 2004 in Mega Man NT Warrior Access. And then another role that I mentioned that she gained in 2005 was as Mammoth Mutt in Crypto the Superdog. She's a little dog whose power is to make herself basically a big blimp and let gravity take its course basically on her opponents. Also in 2005, she was cast as Casey and Dagmar in Bratz. Um, Also in 2005, she was cast as Sinan Kozuki in Starship Operators. She was cast as Ms. Ichigawa in Hikaru no Go. Caranogo is another interesting slice of life one. Not one of the more typical ones that you would know of, but it basically follows somebody who gets into the game of Go, um, which I believe is kind of a pebble game where something about making patterns or making barriers, and follows the adventures of the main character in that. And after that, of course, also in 2005, she was cast as Teresa, Hesperia, and the blonde bickering over the dress and class of the Titans. Then as we move on to 2006, she was cast in Powerpuff Girls Z. Um, of course, here in America, we knew the character as Princess Morbucks. In the Japanese version, she was named Himeko Shiragane. Okay, but she served in Powerpuff Girls Z. She served as the voice of Princess Morbucks, basically. Um, and then she was cast as Miss Shapley in Tom and Jerry Tales. Also in 2006, she was brought in as part of the Dot Hack franchise in Dot Hack Roots as Shino. In 2007, she was Surprise Bear in Care Bear's Adventures in Care-a-Lot. She was cast as Greenback Jane in Black Lagoon: The Second Barrage in 2007 as well. And we move into 2008. Um, she was cast in Mobile Suit Gundam 00 as Louise Halevi. And then as we move ahead to 2009, she was cast as Heather in Flash and Dash. She was cast as Nana Hachi Komatsu, one of the co-leads in it. Nana is a very good anime. It's got a lot of great music. It basically follows. Nana basically follows the two main characters are Hachi, who because both girls are named Nana, and so it follows of these two girls who they're like come from like completely opposite worlds. Like the Nana that Kelly Sheridan plays is kind of a plain Jane, but she ends up sharing an apartment with Nana, or who is also referred to as Ocho, who is voiced in the English by Rebecca Shoyshot, I believe, um, where she's like the lead singer of a band in the show. A lot of great music there. Follows the adventures of these two and how their lives gonna play off of each other. So it's an interesting one to check out. Um, 9, and then let's see. Then in 2010, she was cast as a number of characters in Hero 108, which include Mystique Sonia, Rose Finch, White Faced Woman, Ring Haired Woman. So some of these are Cap Wearing Woman, Mighty Raised Turtle, Toddler, and Sheep Queen. Basically, I guess our two main roles in this were Mystique Sonia and Rose Finch. All the other ones were kind of. Then, of course, as we come into My Little Pony Friendship is Magic in 2010, of course, the main role she had was as Starlight Glimmer. Aside from that, she was also cast as Daisy, Misty Fly, Sassy Saddles, Friendship School Student Number 2, the Young Starlight Glimmer, Rainbow Stars, Build Your Light Purple, North Point, Vapor Trail's Mother, Lime Green Fantasy Changeling, Dream Philly Chorus, Yak Girl, Jasmine Leaf, chromatically dysphoric changeling, wild blue wonderline pony, um, round in staying pony, and snow violet. So basically, I get what gets our main roller coasters: Starlight Glimmer, Daisy, Snow Violet. But yeah, she, like many of the Vancouver-based actresses, she was part of My Little Pony. It's more of a cartoon rather, or Western animation, opposed to anime. But then as we move ahead to 2011, she was cast in Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjutzu as Gail Gossip, the female owner, and then female care worker. So, and as we move on to 2012, she was cast as Rai in Kirazuka, and then she, of course, also 2012 reprised her role as Sango in Inuyasha Final Act. As we move ahead to 2013, she was cast as Crystal, um, Kali Kia, and Nares in Inhumans. In 2013, she was also cast in Wolverine Origin as Mrs. Hopkins, Elizabeth Howlett, and Mary. Then in Eternals, she was cast as Cersei, Wasp, Janet Prims. I'm guessing this is Eternals is a Marvel anime or Marvel animation. Joey and Grace Darling. Also in 2015, she was cast as Marie Celeste in Pirate Express. Then in 2014 as well, she was involved in a show called Lolly Rock, which among the characters she had include Praxina, Lena, Queen of Ephedia, Rose, and Rebecca. This looks like an interesting one to catch. Um, 2015, she was cast in Dino Trucks as Blade and Uncle Dup number 2. Um, she was cast as Captain Kayla in Nina's World in 2015 as well. And then in 2017, she would reprise her role as Starlight Glimmer in both the pony and human version. And she is also the water melody in My Little Pony Equestria Girls Tales of Canterlot High. So those are, of course, more or less the roles of Kelly Sheridan. Um, Hope you guys found it interesting. I hope you guys will go check out some of her other work, some of those works that maybe you haven't seen before. I'm sure many of you know her work, as I said, from My Little Pony. Let's see, from My Little Pony, Inuyasha, Crypto the Super Dog. She's been involved in quite a bit of stuff. So I hope you guys will go check it out. And as always, guys, remember this: if you want to meet your favorite voice actors, what you need to remember to do is you need to, in a very polite and respectful manner, contact your local cons to let them know, to ask them to invite them. That's how VA guests get invited to cons. They get to cons. They have to be invited. So you need to let your local cons know that you want to meet your favorite. If Kelly Sheridan happens to be one of your favorite VAs, and you want to, like, part of the reason why I decided to do this episode on Kelly Sheridan is because back before I decided to close out my Twitter account, I noticed somebody on Twitter had asked about Kelly Sheridan and saying, the person I guess lives in Colorado and was wanting to know how she could get Kelly Sheridan to Colorado. And of course, I explained to her, and I think Kelly liked it. Is that you have to, as I said, you have to very in a very polite and respectful manner ask, contact the conventions and ask them to invite them. So with that being said, then, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Um, oh wait, actually, before that, if you want to contact me directly, you can check out my Discord below. You can direct message me there. Um, you can check out my Discord and join if you'd like. Um, also, I'm promoting a bunch of different dub companies. Remember, Funimation's not the only game in town. Kelly herself is from up in Vancouver, so she gets a lot of her work through Ocean Studios. So just bear that in mind too. But I'm promoting a bunch of different dub companies. You guys might want to check out their work. Funimation is not the only game in town, especially with what we just found out this last week about an anime they apparently picked up and then subsequently decided to drop. Um, and I'll be doing it. Well, by the time you see this, I'll already done the video. So, but anyways, also, I'm still of course promoting Vic's GoFund. I'm still promoting the GoFundMe's. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If you if you have the means to and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. And if you're not in a position to donate, still help out the cause by sharing the link. After all, sharing is caring, and you never know. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends might see that, might see it and say, "Yeah, I want to help out too." You never know. It doesn't hurt to ask. And going back to what I was saying before, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys as long as they're civil and respectful. Um, I hope you guys have been finding these VA profiles for um, informative um, and entertaining, if all possible. And I hope to see you guys at the premieres of these when they come out. Anyways, until then, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.